Men, your attention is valuable. Unfollow all the chicks you don't know in real life. Stop feeding their egos and liking their pictures on Instagram like a thirsty simp. Instead, spend your valuable time on that side hustle. Build that body. Grow your business. Be a better man. Be an example for young men out there. Do you want them to look up to you simping for women all the time, or creating a legacy of your own? That's right. In the times of social media, it's very important to understand whatever you do on the internet is a reflection of who you are and who you want to be. If you follow all the models who share their half-naked images on Instagram and Snapchat all day, then that's a reflection of you as a simp who has nothing better to do. If you follow people who are building empires, creating startups, traveling the world to experience cultures, learning new skills, and giving out solid advice, then that automatically puts you in the growth mindset. Having that growth mindset is what will set you apart from the other men. Even the Chads and the Tyrones. Those guys had their time when they were young. You're better than them. You built yourself up and didn't waste your time on woman after woman, useless jobs and gigs, and other useless acts such as needless tattoos, fights with gangs, and being broke all the time. In the age of social media, a woman's ego goes sky high. If there's one man on the internet who actually is of value, there are 1,000 simps chasing after her, sliding into her DMs, trying to get into her pants. If she's a typical modern woman, she's going to go out with every other guy who compliments her or attracts her with his money. If she's smart, she'll look for that one valuable man to spend the rest of her life with. But unfortunately, such women have become too rare, especially after the feminist movement. Feminists will talk about equality all the time, but if you notice, that equality will only be limited to positions of power. Boardrooms, senior positions in the governments, leadership positions in the biggest organizations in the world, top roles in education, defense, media, NGOs, and places where women can command power over men. They won't talk about regular blue-collar jobs. They won't talk about jobs where men risk their lives. They won't talk about jobs that require a lot of physical hard work. They will only talk about these positions and how they can earn more than their male colleagues. They've created a competition, which only they are a part of, and involving themselves in that competition to play and win. This is because men aren't playing that game. Men have realized that enough is enough. All the talk about equality is meaningless if it's only selective equality that doesn't respect the hard-working men who have physically built the infrastructure of the world in some of the toughest conditions humanly possible. They've realized that it's not even worth being with women anymore because all they bring to the table is unrealistic expectations and a sense of unwarranted entitlement, and seek to make sure men live their lives revolving around women catering to their needs. And it's because of this reason that all the women who played politics for the last 20 years and are now incredibly successful and wealthy, live in beautiful homes, drive the classiest cars, and have the most social lifestyles that you can imagine. But the one thing these women don't have, and the one thing they will hardly ever admit to, is loneliness. In today's world, women view men as accessories like purses or necklaces. All these masculine traits like being tall, having money, and having a large member are there to elevate her in the eyes of other women. If you want today's relationships to work, you play the part of the accessory in her story, witnessed by her female circle of friends. The rich men in this clip didn't get it. That's what they're doing to the girls, and the girl doesn't want to be an accessory in her own story. That's the key to making it work, to make your girl look like the movie star. But the real question everyone starts to wonder is if it's worth all the effort. I think it's an unwritten rule that having enough money puts a big red circle on your back. So, you have to be even more careful now on spending, especially on women. And that's how most rich and wealthy men feel today. Imagine working hard to make something of yourself, but still thinking that landing the average pro is the greatest achievement of your life. There are those guys too, but they're a minority. Men have given up because there are no women who are worthy of marriage. If you do find someone, how long will it be before she drags you through the family court system just to ruin your life? Instead, you want her to show her love for you through intimacy, silence, and a sandwich. Know when to provide intimacy, be present, and be available for that. Silence. Know when it's best to leave you alone and sandwich. That's doing something nice for you to show her support. It doesn't have to be a sandwich. It could be packing your bags for you before you go on a business trip or whatever. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how fit and handsome you are. The most important thing is the game and connection with the girl. Girls are getting lots of money and that destroys them. Money is poison for women. They love forgiving situations. They get bored even if you have play. You are getting cheated if your girl has no values. And today's values are lost in most people. Nowadays, couples don't have true bonding experiences like they had in more difficult times in the past. Also, men collectively need to get their morals in check and not be promiscuous, and that should straighten up the women's behavior. Social media has been a double-edged sword. On one hand, it has given the world a platform to connect to, but on the other, it has also created an unfair dating marketplace governed by women. The problem with social media is that although you see into people's lives, you see only the best of their lives, which in relationships means it seems like they are perfect people with perfect relationships. So, the grass is always going to be greener. In everyday life, it means people are unhappy with their lives because they see how much better others supposedly have. Not only do people post only the best things, but Instagram also feeds you the best of the best, the 1%. So people think if they live average lives, they are missing something, which just makes for unhappy people. Comparison is a thief of joy, and it seems like in today's time it's impossible to avoid it. With social media, you're trying to attract the attention of princesses who mostly go online to get their daily dose of ego boost from dozens of guys trying to slide into their DMs. They're all unicorns and princesses. They are all at the bottom of the heap. If they are princesses and unicorns, why are they using online dating services in the first place? I always wonder about that. So, from a guy's standpoint, the issue with online dating is that it's a competition between 7 or 8 guys seeking the attention of one girl. How do you set yourself out from the competition? You think you have a good profile and have an education from a state university. The other guy will have his PhD from MIT. You drive a new Honda. The other guy will be driving a Tesla. You think you earn well. Wait until you see the other guy fly over the cities on his personal helicopter. You get the drift, right? The list is endless. So for men, what this does is that it depresses them. It slowly starts to bite away their self-esteem, bite by bite. Self-esteem and the confidence that guys have built over years of careful decisions and choices, and money spent on clothes, shaving products, cars, hair products, and so on. I believe it's incredibly important to figure out the dynamics of online dating for men as well as women if you want to understand why it is a waste of time for men. The first thing to understand is that women copy one another online. Therefore, if they discover that one of their friends is succeeding with a particular kind of online personal ad, they are likely to give it a shot themselves. It's crucial to realize that in online dating, women don't actually respond to your complete profile. If you check all the boxes for the kind of men they're looking for, only then will they reply. For instance, they'll swipe right if you're a certain height, dressed professionally, and display traits like being well-read and well-traveled. Only if you precisely meet the mental image they have thought of for the ideal man they would like to date. Only then. So the odds are literally stacked against men. Additionally, I assume that women in their mid to late 30s who are obese, have little fashion sense, or are simply unattractive, will also likely swipe right on every man. They are at the bottom of the market for female intimacy. If they're still having trouble finding someone, they switch to other dating services that are only open to those who have become completely cut off from society due to technology. And so, as I said, your attention is valuable. Unfollow all the chicks you don't know in real life. Stop feeding their egos and liking their pictures on Instagram like a thirsty simp. Instead, spend your valuable time on that side hustle. Build that body. Grow your business. Be a better man. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.